that out as part of your research and primary research?
That exact thing we did not test out, no. One of the things we did ask them is, we asked them about what they would think if we created a business where they would be able to answer questions from students. And we only interviewed 2 schools because our original questions never had that included. So we only had time to interview 2 more schools, which we re-asked DePaul and we re-asked Lake Forest, and their responses were, depends. They said that most people need to call in for information. They're like, it really just depend on it. What we're seeing, what we're envisioning would be an appointment set up for a certain group of students, and they would connect with that counselor or that admissions counselor in that manner.
And also we were thinking about doing like an online chat room for like students that actually go to that college and connecting to like students, like high school students, like seniors.
During our research, we also found that admissions counselors actually want to talk to the students. It really helps them get a feel of personalization with the school itself. So we're going to have is any questions asked to the admissions counselors are actually posted on their page as well. So any questions, there's already going to be a Q&A at the bottom that have just same questions from before. So it doesn't need to get overfilled with the same questions over and over.
I have a question. I mean, first of all, I want to say I really appreciated the personal stories. I think it really brought the product to life. My question is it more, maybe I missed it, but is it more for students who don't know where they want to go or to narrow the search, or is it after they're in already?
Well, it's actually for both, because there's 40% of students end up transferring after the first year, around that number, which is to me extremely surprising.
What was it, 40%?
Yeah, around 40%. End up transferring or do not like the school that they're currently at. So what we want to do is, for students, obviously it's a marketing solution for colleges to make it less expensive, but for students, it's going to help them stay at a school that they're going to like. It's going to find the right fit for them. So using a community-based setting and getting other people's opinions and getting the story from the school themselves, it will get a better view from the student standpoint.
So I have a question, and also I liked both the quote as well as the story behind it, because I think that brought that to life. I don't have a college-age student yet. Well, thanks. So here's my question. Sort of a 2-part question. Could you take us sort of quickly through what the new vision looks like? So you took us through like what your story is now. Can you take us through what like that future experience would be, sort of quickly, because I know we don't have a lot of time. But then the other question is, part of the magic of this, I think you had talked about, was writing an algorithm in terms of the matching. But I don't know if I missed that or if it's in here, but how does that play out in the MVP? So I didn't know what the connection was there, because that seems to me like the magic to like Eric's business. That's like, the magic in yours.
So in the future, we see students basically signing up. They're going to take a survey, maybe 10 to 15 questions. We're going to spit out maybe 5 to 10 schools in which we feel, or the algorithm, I should say, feels that is best for the students. And then those schools will be in a feed for them, and it would be major based as well, so what they're interested in business. So basically, he would be looking at Wisconsin, to be getting theater, they would be marketing theater department to him, and like that's no use, and it's just a waste of money. So he would get a feed of all of his interested schools, and he could add his own as well. And then within that feed, he can contact other students who are looking at the school at the same time as him, or as well as admissions officers. Basically, it would be a chat room. So at 5 o'clock, the Wisconsin admissions officer would be on to answer questions for 30 minutes, or something like that. So once they answer those questions, it's like a portal, like something like Facebook.
Okay.
So, the second question. Oh.
No, that's okay. That's
the algorithm. You want to answer that?
I'll answer the algorithm real fast. Is that it's really just for the general thing, because obviously the students don't have the ability through our platform to go and look for the schools themselves, but it's just some like suggestions. And what's really amazing with the algorithm is we're going to try and make it so you get 5, like it's not a long thing questions, so it's going to be out of hand. It might be 15 questions the first day, but throughout time we'll keep updating. We'll keep sending out periodic surveys of whether it's 5 or 10 questions, just to make sure everything stays in date. So like we were talking about is it just increases the likelihood that they're actually going to like their school.
So I really liked your presentation, and I got to tell you, after 2 days of this, the level of presentation that you guys have is phenomenal. I also like that you really, the subject matter is pretty pertinent for you, and you research competition. I don't have a question, but maybe some counsel and something to think about. You've got kind of a classic problem that you've got to solve with any new business, and especially for this, the value that you're going to drive is if you've got scale. And so as a prospective college student, and we're going to go through this soon in my family, and I've got 3 kids. I don't want to be in my basement until they're 40, so this would be a valuable service for them. The thing is, though, it's only going to be valuable if you have a large number of universities. And you're only going to have a large number of universities if you have a large number of students.
That's right.
And you're really going to need to think about if you go to a university and offer them a subscription-based fee, they're not going to want to be the first. You're going to get value from the network effect, which is the more people are on it, the more value you get. You really need to think about how you're going to drive that volume early, and the MVP has gotta differentiate that.
So along the lines of that, kind of like that was kind of my question. So that if you have 2 revenue streams, right? So you go to the colleges, pay whatever a month to be on the platform, right? And then you get the pull from the subscriptions. But if a university, to your point, says I don't want to be on it, are they not going to be part of? If University of Wisconsin says, you know what, we're going to pass and we do other stuff, if a student goes in, do you not then present Wisconsin? Because to that point, how do you start it? Because the first year you're only going to have 20 universities, and people are going to want access to all 2,000,
We're
right?
going to actually offer the information, that's the basic general information. But
Okay.
what the universities miss out on now is that they don't get to have a personalized experience with their student, and on top of that, they don't get to put their own information out there. So obviously we know that wasn't going to be an issue at the beginning.
Yeah.
We saw it coming. But we really think that if we have, obviously student traffic is what's going to get the colleges in, because it's like a college fair. They send only their admissions officers into somewhere where there's going to be a lot of students. So what we see this is that the more students we get, the more likely colleges are going to come in. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to start with kind of a beta version for colleges, where we're just going to get them here, test out our technology, and then we're going to have the students follow with that, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's something you really want to think through. Because at the end of the day, the money, the statistics you gave us before in terms of what colleges spend to get a student, they are the ones who get the gain. For me, the student should almost get it $2 a month. They can almost get it free. You get as many students as you want. Think about the colleges. Maybe one other suggestion is, this is very similar in some ways to the corporate model or LinkedIn. I don't know if you guys know LinkedIn, but if you do, there are broader services that platform provides that you could actually offer this. So it's just something to go research if you haven't
Question?
already done.
Yeah, I
How
want
much
to
time?
emphasize that.
How much time do we have left? We have a minute.
Okay, I'll emphasize
Any
that
other
very briefly.
questions? Yeah.
I think I would suggest you guys really consider the business model. If you're very successful a few years down the road, how do you want to leverage the value? Is it because you're going to charge individuals? Is it because you're going to charge schools? Is it you're going to sell the data for advertising? Think about that, because Ted's right. It's all about scale. If you guys had 1 million students on it already, you'd be done.
Eyeballs.
It's all about eyeballs. So I would think about the business model and the revenue.
So I'm interested in knowing what is it that you're expecting to have after you, the amount of money that you've asked for web development. What is it that you're expecting? So I'm not clear on what it is that you're going to.
Can you go to your Ask page?
So the web development would be able to, I built
You're
the
there. That-
website, but it's not a fully functional website. It's just kind of like a landing page for people to see, and it can show the services and stuff like that, but there's no products in there. So basically it would kind of have a beta version of what we're trying to do to allow students, we're trying to drive students to our website. So showing them what we have for them and what our value is really important to us, so that web developer will be able to build what we want to drive those students. Because the landing page isn't really going to interest many people.
So it's a beta version to demo to students.
And then we can try
In college.
in college, yeah, for just Illinois. That's our kind of MVP.
How is that going to help prove the concept? Well, explain it to me. Because you have a landing page, right? So you'll know if somebody clicks
Yeah.
through. And then, you know, are you gonna have other landing pages to see how far they click through?
Yeah.
Is that what the
Yeah,
concept is?
that's what I have that's what I did right now, but it's just not like, it doesn't have any social media elements, and it isn't really gonna provide us the data we need, so we feel like if we hire a freelancer to kinda sketch up a website that has social media elements, we'll be able to get that data, improve our concept with both the college side and the student side.
All right, thank you guys.
Great job, guys.